What are we? 214, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hopefully, you're able to celebrate. I know not everybody thinks it's an official holiday, but hopefully, it gives you an opportunity to love and be loved. This is the agenda for the agent update call today. So, I'm going to be going through this stuff all pretty quick. I appreciate y'all being here. Hang on 1 minute. I got to grab a light. That helps light the board up a little bit. Makes things a little easier to see, less reflection. All right. Don't mind my scribble there. That's my reminders. Let's get started. Number one, welcome. If you're brand new at DAC, welcome aboard. We're excited to have you part of the DAC affiliate and agent network. We are all about making a massive impact to business owners, and we do so by making a massive impact to our agents and affiliates, people like you, looking to set yourself up with an amazing business. And when you think about it, you have access to a tool that helps impact business owners in an amazing way that they can't get elsewhere. You can earn significant full-time income commissions for doing so. And you can build a team who starts for free and earn overrides. And you have access to 5 Zooms a week like this, right? With industry experts who will get on and talk and take your questions. So you can ask questions every single day to one of the leaders in our company, and they'll literally stay on until all the questions are answered. And you've got a back office that tracks your business, and you've got Zoom trainings, and you've got scripts and tools and tips from people. And we've funded thousands of businesses, hundreds of thousands of customers have come through our platform. So we've got experience. We can help you. We've built teams in the tens of thousands of people. So we know how to do everything we're telling you to do or sharing with you that you can do, right? You can't tell us we can't because we have. You can't tell us you don't believe. You cannot believe, but it doesn't affect our belief, right? We're not responsible for your belief. We just share what we believe and attract those who believe what we believe. And we'll give you the know-how. You got to do the work, but we'll give you the recipe, right? So welcome aboard, because we're doing some amazing things and we're glad to have you a part of the family. Now, as you're getting started with us, you get to make decisions all throughout. Do you believe? Do you believe enough to promote? Do you believe enough to promote the business or just a service or both? That's up to you, not up to us. But we hope the more you see, the more you believe, and the more you believe, the more you share. The more you share, the more of an impact you make on your family. Because keep in mind, you grow your business by increasing your sales, and your sales increase by your personal customers, and they increase by your team's performance. The combination of those two together. Some of you don't want to build a team, you never have to, but you will never make the same impact. One person, the best salesperson in the world, can do very well in one market, but the best team builder can do well in every market, right? So Ray Kroc took the McDonald's method, and he didn't create the idea. He just found a way to expand it on a national level and build teams called franchisees. When the McDonald brothers didn't think you could, because they had tried and it didn't work. So they never believed they could. And that's why Ray Kroc is the multi-billionaire from it, not the McDonald brothers, because they understood the impact of making a network, a large network of locations rather than one location. So we're not for everyone building a team. We understand that. So we're glad you're here, at least as an agent, referring our impact making funding platform. And hopefully you're also taking advantage of referring the income opportunity to others, because that's where you make the best impact. President's Day is Monday. What does that mean? Banks are closed Monday. That means no funding can happen Monday. So weekends and Monday, there's no fundings. Our Giggle applet can do fundings every day because they're depositing into a debit card, but that's not really, we don't consider that our main product, right? That's just, so our business funding does not happen on Monday. That means today, if you got clients who are needing funding, it's either say yes today and accept the funding and get the funding today, or it's going to be Tuesday before they can get funding. All right. So if you have anyone on the fence, know that. Of course, we have applications run 24/7 in our business. So it's not like we shut off the application process, but one business day means we won't have fundings until Tuesday. We might get offers on Monday, but funding can't happen until Tuesday. I already said happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully, if some people it's just a Hallmark holiday, it gives you a chance to express love to friends and family. So take advantage of that, of course. Starting next Tuesday, we're going to do an onboard training, live onboard training for all new agents. It'll be 8 o'clock Eastern time Tuesday. We're going to proceed that with a business opportunity overview at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday. So 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, there's a BizOp overview for prospects, and it's also a teaching tool for our agents, followed by an 8 o'clock onboard training for anyone who's new to the business. And they're going to get the onboard training, which will include some business funding training, some marketing training, some back office training, some recruiting training, all the things we want a brand new agent to understand when they're starting. It'll be generalized. We can't go into a lot of details on that, but it'll be generalized enough. And I would be there if I were you. I'd get your whole team there. Even if you're already in the business, get your whole team there so you can see our onboard training. And of course, the learning management software will eventually have that in it on a ongoing recorded fashion. But until such time, you can attend Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. The onboard training, 7:30 Eastern, is the BizOp overview. Both of those will be at this channel, daczoom.com, daczoom.com. You can always watch it in recording, but you can't ask questions in recording. You can't ask questions at YouTube. You can only ask them at daczoom.com, where you're at today if you're on Zoom. So that starts next Tuesday. Excited about that. If you were on Wade's Wednesday funding training, you heard him talk about, because of our platform and the growth of our platform, some of our lenders are allowing more industries to get approved. We've always said we can approve most all industries, but in the financial services industry, it's very high risk. So it's hard to get an approval there, like insurance agencies, real estate sales, not real estate loans, real estate sales offices like brokers, Century 21 brokers and stuff, or mortgage offices, not mortgages. We get a lot of confusion with this. Mortgage offices, like if you sell mortgages and you own a large mortgage brokerage with a lot of mortgage agents, we couldn't get you approved before, but now we've got some lenders who will say yes to that. It's still high risk, but it's doable now. So we wanted people to know we've expanded that. If in the past you were told you can't fund anyone who owns a real estate brokerage or owns a mortgage brokerage, that has been updated where now we can. The criteria are the same as all of our other funding. We don't need to make a special training document on it. It's just like any other industry. And many of you didn't even realize those were declined industries of the past. So it's no new news to you. I say talk to every type of business, right? Worst case, you find out we can't get that industry approved right now. But rather than saying which ones we do and don't, we can approve most every industry. All right. So that's good news. And I wanted to bring that up. Wade brought it up on the Wednesday training. I'm going to end with the platform. I'm looking at the checklist. So I want to talk about social selling and social tools. Our Facebook agent page is for agents, right? And then we've got the Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and what's the other? Instagram page for clients. It's client and recruiting focus. It's for people that aren't in our company yet. I'm encouraging you all to like and share those posts. I get responses regularly because I like and I share our posts. I put them on my Facebook page. I got 2 new recruits from a video I made yesterday. One of them I've been trying to recruit for 5-6 years. So I'm going to encourage all of you, if we post something and you don't share it, just know that it's like we're giving you a free billboard, but you're not taking advantage of it. I'm going to encourage you, like and share all the posts. I had an agent. So one of the posts that came up yesterday says, we're not a lender, we're a funding platform. And it had a woman looking at it. It was on Instagram. And I had an agent who's a pro in this space, who's known about DAC for years, send me a text that I love this, and put a picture of the post. And she said, I didn't realize we're a platform. I thought we were just a lender. This changes the game. If I don't share that post, she doesn't know. She makes six figures in the home-based business space today. This changes the game in her eyes. I share the post. So all I can say to all of you is go through the activity of following and sharing all of our posts. It's like a franchise. If you don't take advantage of the branding, you don't take advantage of the McDonald's brand on your napkins, you want to buy your own paper and you have your own recipes on the menu board, you can be a standalone Lone Ranger, but you don't have the benefit of all the other work that's being done. We're paying people to make posts, right? We're paying people to make videos. We're paying for those channels and posting on those channels. And so your lack of using it is doing yourself a disservice. Obviously, you want to blend in personal posts too. It's not just DAC, but know that we want you to like and share. Okay, the last thing I want to say is platform focused. I want to write something on here, and I want you to see something for a minute. Okay, so this is a business. That's my business icon. All right, that's a business right there, and that business needs capital to grow their. That's an ice cream shop. They need capital. They got one location and they have visions of another location. All right. They have visions of it, a bigger one too. But this is going to cost them $75,000 to open. Now, if they're renting a place, it's probably only costs about 40, but let's just say it's 75 grand to open. And they're doing 80,000 a month now, and they're on this location. They're like, hey, if we open this place, we can go do another 80,000, maybe even more because it's bigger. So that's 960,000 extra a year in sales we'll do extra by having another location. They're already doing 960,000, right? They're doing that today already. That would be an extra, but they need 75 grand and they don't have it because out of that 80 grand, they're only making maybe 8,000 a month. So they can't buy this. So they go to their bank and they ask for funds. And the bank says yes to some of them. Who does it say yes to? The people who own the building. Do you own this building, Mrs. Ice Cream Shop? No. You do? Oh, you do. Okay. If you do, what's your FICO score? It's 780. Okay. And how long you been in business? 5 years. Okay. And we need to see your taxes and the this and the this and the this. And we need to do an appraisal on this property and the this and this. Because to give you 75 grand, this has got to be worth 100, this property. So the bank will say yes to some. They'll say yes to some, but it's rare. It's rare. We don't serve them if the bank will say yes to them. That's not our target market, right? They should get a bank loan. The bank will let them pay it off over 5 years or 10 years or 20 years like a mortgage, and the payment will be real low. And that's 75 grand. They'll get the 75 grand. It'll take them 4 months, 5 months maybe. They got to get appraisals done. The appraisals got to come in right. So as long as they're willing to wait, the answer is yes. That's great. Here's the problem. 80% of these people, what's the answer? Sorry, you're not approved. You're not eligible. You don't have collateral. You're not making enough. You don't have a good enough FICO score. You killed it launching your business. You killed it by putting money into this company and not paying your host mortgage. So you don't get approved. And so there's millions upon millions of businesses out there. How many? Millions upon millions of businesses out there who are not eligible for the bank. So what do? They go to their friends and family, or they sell partnership. They sell half their company to bring in a partner to buy this. So there's other ways, but again, you're only talking about a handful of a percentage. So then a new industry comes up. Started in the late 2008, 2009 period called MCAs. Merchant cash advances. And you had to take credit cards. At the time, that's a credit card. You had to take credit cards at the time. And what credit card companies said is, hey, you're doing $10,000 a month in sales. What we'll do is this. We'll give you 10,000, not more than a month's worth. We'll give you 10,000 now, and we'll take 10% of your sales, all your credit card sales, until you've paid us back 15. Or if you're doing 80,000 a month, we'll give you 80,000 now, and we're gonna give you 80,000 now because you're doing 80,000 a month. You're gonna pay us back 140. Okay, 10% of your sales until you paid us 140 back, or until you paid 120 back, whatever the amount was. Usually about 50%, 1.5 times. So you can pay 10% of your sales till you paid that back. And this was a brilliant idea, and businesses all over the country jumped on it because they're like, heck yeah, I'll take 80. I'll pay back 120 over sales. Because look, now I got 2 locations doing sales instead of 1. Brilliant. That's why the MCA industry did billions right away. Now, some people took the 80 grand or the 10 grand and they couldn't afford it. Their sales went down. And so the credit card companies started holding their money back. Said, no, we can't just take 10% because your sales went down. We're going to take 20, 25% of your sales, and they're putting people out of business. So then they started saying, well, how do we do around this? So MCA started getting a bad name. Merchant cash advances, right? Credit card advances, they're called. But the industry opened something up. And then some other people came around and said, wait a minute, there's a different way we could do this. We could give them, using the same concept, we can give them the 80,000 and we can say they can afford 10% of their sales, or 8%, or 7%, or 12%, depending upon what their bank statements look like. We know what they can afford because we're looking at their bank statements. And we can give them the 80 grand and we'll take out 10% of their sales. And we'll take out 10% of the sales until they've given us back 100,000. And we'll set up a fixed daily payment. If their sales go up, they don't have to give us 10% of it. The credit card advances, they give you 10% whether the sales are up or down, 10%. Where here, it's like, hey, if you jump your sales, you get an extra $960, you're still only paying that daily payment we set up. So they come up with a way to do an automatic daily or weekly payment. Some people still call it MCAs, merchant cash advance, because legally it's an advance, it's not a loan. But then we have others that are loans, so it's called a term loan, and it may only be a 12-month term or an 18-month term, but it's a term loan. So in our industry, you'll hear people call it MCA. Well, it's not a credit card MCA, which has a bad name, but it is an advance in some states. So is it really an MCA? Yeah, but it's not with the terms of a credit card advance. So some people don't like the MCA term, but long story short is a new industry came out that the lender could get their money back from future sales. The business could launch another location from current sales. Current sales get me a loan rather than collateral. Current sales get me an advance rather than collateral. Current sales get me another location rather than selling half my company. Current sales can do A, B, C. Current sales can get me a marketing campaign. Current sales can hire an advertising company to get my social ads going. Current sales could fix a broken oven so that I don't go out of business. Current sales can remodel my place so I can charge a higher price. Current sales. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Isn't it brilliant? Banks say, no, collateral determines your credit worthiness. Credit score, profitability, not current sales. Current sales matter, but the other things matter more. Now, some people can check all those boxes and then get lower price capital. Most people can't. So current sales can fund. Now, what happens is companies started coming up. And all of a sudden, you got company number 1 here, company number 2, company number 3, company number 4. And all of a sudden, you have 100 plus alternative funding providers out there. 100 plus. This is brilliant, right? Here's the problem. This one only approves some. This one approves others. This one approves different ones. This one approves different ones. This one, they all approve differently. This one charges a lot more. This one charges a lot less. This one says yes to everyone that has a bunch of defaults. This one says yes, but then takes your house if you don't pay them on time. This one, and all kinds of messy stuff. All messy stuff because you're advancing money. You're not abiding by the bank laws. You're giving an advance. You're buying future revenue. You could take their house. You could put a lien on it. You can do all kinds of stuff. So it got a real bad name from certain providers. There's companies out there that we used to represent. We didn't know they had bad situations. We had read things, but then had bad situations with clients in 2016 and 17. Some new lenders would open up. We thought they'd all have integrity. We thought, and there's so much garbage out there. But we got it down to about 20 providers. There's about 20 in our circle. And we've got more than 20, but there's about 20 who can pretty much handle everything we throw their way. And so our platform, DAC, is right here. our Bank Breezy platform, we started it, right? Wade Cordell and I own it, but we started it to support this. Now, what the Bank Breezy platform and DAC does is one application comes in, and what do? One simple online application, and we spin it through all of these, and we find the best offer. And we don't deal with anyone who's critical of the provider, of the customer. Like if you have a slowdown in sales, if you're doing 80,000 a month in sales now, and your sales go down to 50, it's going to be hard to average that daily payment or that weekly payment, right? So we all of our partners will say, hey, call us if you're having a problem. We'll look at it. If we can show your sales really did fall, we can lower your payment. We're not trying to put you in over your head. They're all reasonable. I mean, you owe the money back, but it's reasonable. They're not out to be Gestapos, right? So we've got this platform here, and what happens is this business owner over here doesn't know that we have 20 locations. They only know about On Deck, who advertises on TV. So On Deck, great company. They're on TV. They call On Deck, and On Deck says, sorry, you decline. Darn it. I can't even get approved at one of those alternative revenue-based places. They only approve about 7% of the people. They're going to say no usually. Okay, and then they hear about Rocket Mortgage has got one called Rapid Advance. And they go, oh, I don't apply at Rapid Advance because I got an email from Rocket Mortgage. And they go there, decline. Right? And what happens is maybe they'll get approved there. But if they got approved there, they may have gotten a better offer here. Or they may get a better offer at Credibly, one of our other providers, or Vox, one of our other providers, or Spartan, one of our other providers, right? So you go around the list, we got some great providers out there that this Spartan might give you a $500,000 and On Deck only gave you 250. Spartan may give you 150,000 and Credibly is willing to give you 190. We don't know. Each deal is different. And you never know. It's based on certain things. Rapid may have a lot of money they got to lend out this quarter. So if you apply with Rapid this quarter, you're going to get approved, or last quarter you got declined. It's such a fickle industry. So the good news is you don't have to worry about this. You can't even get a deal with On Deck, right? You got to have the insurance, E&O, and have a relationship with them that you've had for years. They don't take new ISOs. So we've got On Deck. They're the cat's meow, if you will, in pricing. If they approve you, it's usually better than Rapid or Credibly or Vox, but not always. Spartan's trying to compete with them too. So we've got better offers, but here's the good news. As the business owner, do you want to apply to all 20 of our places? No, but you need to. Why? Because 14 may say no. 6 may say yes, but all 6 are going to charge you different. Do you want the lowest price, or do you want an approval? Do you want the best approval, or you just want an approval? So when a business owner needs funding and they don't go through us, you better hope they pick the right, it's like roulette. I hope they pick the right chamber who's going to approve them and approve them well, and not the wrong one. And there's people out there, business owners would be a fool to deal directly with On Deck alone. Because even if On Deck says yes, guess what? They got an internal sales team who's paid on commission. What does that mean? When you go buy a car at the local car dealership, they're paid on commission, right? Do you think the price is the same every time you buy a car? Do you think every Cadillac costs the same? The exact same model. It depends on the salesperson, how much they've added to the price for commission, right? Yes. And how well they are at selling you. Now, if you go there and you go, oh my God, I got approved for a Cadillac. Holy cow, I'm approved. Yes, 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 yes. They're going to charge you more. They're going to charge you every penny they can because you're so thankful you got approved. That's how people are who get these business advances, because they don't realize we'll get you a lot of approvals. We're not a bank. Banks say no to most. We say yes to most. Don't take just a yes. Take the best yes. And there's no way to know the best yes unless you go through us. So this is the model that you have as a DAC agent that you don't have if you're not. To get the Bank Breezy platform, it's $2,500 a month license fee for people who want to do a white label or a partnership with Bank Breezy platform. $2,500 a month. Why? Because we're not trying to sign those people up. You want to market Bank Breezy, join DAC. Now, if you're a big company and you want Bank Breezy funding platform the way DAC has it, $2,500 a month, you have rights to it. So you guys don't have to pay 2,500 and you get the commission that those people get, and they're paying 2,500 a month, right? So you've got access to something. The client wins because the client has the best yes, not just a yes, the best yes. Now imagine this. Your uncle owns a restaurant and he reaches out to On Deck because he saw it on Fox News and they say, sorry, you're declined. Uncle Joe doesn't try applying anywhere else. Uncle Joe's never even heard of Credibly. Uncle Joe's never heard of Vox. You've probably never heard of Vox. Vox is one of our best lenders. Spartan. Uncle Joe's never heard of Spartan, right? He doesn't think to apply at Spartan. So Uncle Joe says, darn it, I can't expand yet. Or worse yet, Uncle Joe sells half this company to some investor because he can't grow without investor money because On Deck said no. So we're doing a disservice if we don't put a client into the platform. If we don't let them know they're making decisions based on their first answer, or they get approved at a carrier over here that we only take our high risk stuff to. Let's say Everest. Let's say they get approved by Everest and they're going, cool, I'm approved. Yeah, you're paying a lot more than these people charge. But you didn't know about all these people. You only applied at this one. And by the way, because you're excited, that internal sales agent jacked your price so high, they added 12 or 13 points on. You'll see if you're in this space at all, you'll start getting emails from these people. You can make 14% commission. You can make 15% commission. You can make 12%. How do they pay you 12%? Because they ask you, they say, okay, here's your price that we'll give it to you at. You want to mark it up 13 points and charge that customer. They got 100 grand. They say anything over 120 is yours. Or anything over, in this case, anything over 135,000 is yours. We're giving you 100. You got to pay, 135 is the wholesale cost. So whatever you mark it up is yours. So you go, okay, cool. I'm going to add 15 points to this. 150,000. You got to pay back on that 100. Some will say yes. And you jack them up. But as soon as they get a call tomorrow from someone said, you paid what? So you don't put them in the high risk lender when they're approved at a lower risk lender, right? And so our platform shows all that, and internal sales guys jack these prices up. So we're doing a disservice if we don't educate every business in our street about the funding platform, where they're paying first class flights instead of a Travelocity flight price. They're paying first class $1,700 flight to LA when they can get it for $299 at Travelocity because they don't know any better. So it's our job to get the word out about the platform. You are a platform owner because you're a DAC agent. And so you know what that means? That means you can advertise this to people and get the word out, that is. And when they use it, you get paid. Now, you can't jack the commissions up, but you earn a nice commission. And when someone goes On Deck, they're going to pay more than if they get On Deck through us. Because On Deck salespeople mark it up. And they mark it up a lot higher than we do, number one. And number two, they get a higher wholesale cost because they don't have all the traffic. On Deck knows you better give us a good offer because if you approved it, Rapid's approving it, Credibly's approving it, and they're all trying to take your business. So they're giving us their best offer. You better come in low On Deck or else we're going with Rapid. If you want this, give us your best price. See what happens? They compete, you win. Your client wins. And now you don't have to worry about when a telemarketer calls, they'll promise the world, but they won't deliver it. Hey, we can get you $100,000 next week, and you only got to pay back 122. Yeah, wait till you get on the funding call and wait to get it's kind of like, yeah, you're approved for your Cadillac. And then the finance manager wants to meet with you because, oh, we found something in your report and it's going to add $70 a month onto your payment. You still want it? You're already in the room. Wife's already there to look at the car with you. You already got the license plate in your hand. And now it's $70 more a month. That's what these companies do as a habit. Not the ones we represent, but some of the people that represent these companies do. So we go out of our way to bring transparency, to bring not only transparency of what you're going to pay, what it's going to cost, or what you get, but what it's going to cost you. We got to give transparency of what it's going to cost too. So guys, you've got your hands on something now. Is it easier to say, hey, my whole job is just to let you know we've got a platform to get you funding. We're not the funder. We represent all the top funders. So we're going to get you the best approval offer, not just an approval offer. Yeah, you might get declined from 10 of the 20 places, but you'll get 10 approvals, and we're going to get you the best approval offer, not just an offer. And we don't determine the price. The industry's determining the price. We just get you the best offer in the industry. And there's no obligation. You apply and you take an offer and you decide it's not worth it because you're not going to benefit enough from the funds to pay the price. You get to say no, there's no cost to use the platform. That is the angle. That is the message. That is what we lead with more than just business funding. And we're improving that. That's not always been the case. We've always said one step best offer, but we've never really led with the platform. All of our messaging is moving to the platform language because that's really our competitive advantage. And in the end, then you don't have to worry about the price of the funding. It's like, what's it going to cost me to fly to Florida? I don't know. Depends on which airline you choose and when you're going. Is it going to be expensive? I don't know. It's going to be the best airline price we can find you, though. Well, how much do you think it's going to be? A travel agent would be able to probably between $199 and $799, depends on when you go and whether you're taking bags or not, right? We could tell them what depends. You're probably going to pay 1.18 to 1.70, depends on your credit and where you're approved and etc. But it can be as low as 1.18 times what you get and as high as 1.69 times what you get. We don't determine that, but we're going to find you the best offer in there. And the good news is you don't have to worry about where to go apply at all of them. You want the best offer from 20 places, but you don't want the hassle of applying at 20 places. So you don't need it. 1 5-minute application with us, upload 3 months bank statements, and within 1 business day, you'll have your best approval offer presented to you. Is that pretty cool? Now you can build a team of agents who share that message. And we already talked about it. If you just had 200, I don't care how many agents you have today, and I don't care how many agents DAC has today. I don't care. I remember when my first company was only doing 4 customers a week, and I also remember when it was doing 300,000 a month. But I remember when they were only had 4 customers a week, and people didn't believe. It doesn't matter. Do you believe? It doesn't matter how many agents you have today. How many agents will join a free business where they're marketing this platform? Is there faults? Yes. Will they be improved? Yes. Will there always be areas of improvement? Absolutely. But doesn't that exist in every business on the planet? The good news is you don't have to build this one. You have to build the team and you have to market it. You don't have to build the platform or fund the platform or worry about the CRM of the platform. You don't have to worry about all the cost behind the staff, the hotel, the employees. All you have to do is bring the volume forward. And then you get paid a set commission. You don't have to worry about whether you're making enough gross profit. You have no cost except your activity cost. You don't have any employees to pay or rents to pay or workman's comps or all the other things that have fixed costs. It says you got to at least do, 50,000 in funding a week to make a profit. No, your first funding is a profit, right? And so is every agent you refer. So if you just had 100 fundings a week coming in your whole team, you're making about $1 million a year. Not always. Sometimes you'll be making 1.8 million. But I'm just saying as an average, if you just had 100 fundings a week in your whole team. Now, I don't know about you, but I can just tell you where I'm at. I'm like, okay, every solution I have right now is hard to have 100 people with 100 fundings a week because it doesn't take, the platform is the platform. The word getting out is what matters. If everyone knew about this, the way they know about Travelocity or Kayak, you don't go to Southwest Direct, you go to Travelocity. Actually, Southwest is in Travelocity for whatever reason, but I've learned that by using Travelocity. So some lenders won't be in here, but it's not because they don't want to be. A few of these lenders have offered to buy into the platform so that we give them more preferential treatment. Let us look at it first. Give us first right of refusal. We'll buy your company or partner with you, give you a bunch of money to partner with you. We just want first right of refusal. And we're not proceeding because we don't want restrictions. First right of refusal, but we're still looking everywhere. First right of refusal or best offer. A best offer is what we stand on. So if you can't give the best offer, it doesn't matter if you look at it first. You should be giving us your best offer already anyway. Because if we give it to you, you have first right of refusal. Bring the best offer and you get the deal. You don't even have to buy into our company. Just bring the best offer. So We've got our hands on something. You guys as a team, us as a team, will help you build a network of thousands of people. Hey, you don't, if to do 100 deals a week, wait, I said 100. It's 200 deals a week. Sorry. 200 deals a week. 100 deals a week would be about a half a million a year. But 200 deals a week, you may have to have 10 times that in reps who are trying. You might have to have, 2,000 agents trying to do 200 deals a week. But once the word gets out, that's renewals or everything. As the word gets out about this platform more and more and more and more and more, and it becomes more and more of a household name, everyone out there will go, when it comes to business funding, where do you go for a mortgage right now? Where do most people go for a mortgage? Rocket Mortgage. They're the number one mortgage provider. United Wholesale Mortgage. You've never heard of them? They're a wholesaler that sells to all the mortgage companies. They're the number two mortgage provider, number one wholesaler in the world. Nobody knows their name. They're on stadiums and everywhere else, but nobody knows their name because they're in the background. They let everyone else run their own mortgage company names, but they're all using United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM, right out of Pontiac, Michigan, 10 miles away from Rocket Mortgage. They both went to Michigan State. They're both always competing with each other, and all the employees win because they both got to pay more and more and more. Hey, DAC, Bank Breezy, household names in the making. You guys are here. Hopefully, because you're on the train now, you have train cars behind you in 10 years. Hopefully you do. And because, we're adding on tracks now to go down. And we're excited about where we're going, and we're believing like we've never believed. And so we're glad that you're here. Thank you for being here today. Let's go to your questions first. Let's go to questions. I say we're here and we'll take questions. What questions have you got about anything at all that is DAC? What questions have you got? Let's go to those first, and then we'll go to any comments. Wade Cordell's got his hand up wearing that orange. I'm not sure what that is. It kind of matches my Goofy cup or Pluto. I think I bought you that shirt. I think
you bought me the shirt 2 years ago for Christmas. So
yeah,
you're going to criticize it. That's criticize your own taste. I don't want to be redundant on anything you said. Basically, what you did say, by the way, it was excellently illustrated. I just want to tell you a little quick story. When you and I first got into this and we started understanding this industry, we flew to I'm pretty sure you were with me in New York. And I kept hearing somebody talking in the other rooms. And I went in there and they had this huge inside sales team calling out. And I said, well, where the heck they get all their leads? The reality is from schmucks that were onesies and twosies ISO groups that could not get their deal funded, and so they would submit the deal to them, and then they would call them and sell them. I remember, and of course they would tell the ISO, hey, you know what? He said, well, don't worry, we won't do that to you. They just tell them that they don't know what they're doing. And I remember they gave us a 149 rate one time, and I said, I can't sell it at this. And he says, okay, well, let's go down to 139. I said, wait, whoa, what is that going to do to my commission? I just need to know. He said, oh, it's not going to affect it at all. So the reality is, if you don't have the incredible experience in the industry and you're out there you're not going to make it in this industry without this platform. You're not. Yeah, it's just almost impossible because there's so much competition. And you said 100 funders out there. There's really about 20 to 25, like you said, that are really true funders. And you got all these super ISOs out there that are saying, we got this, we got that, and we're going to pay you 50% of everything we make, but we only make 3 to 5%. And so by the time you really get down to it, there is nothing to compare to what's happening here. And I know people are gonna say I'm biased, but I'm a person that knows his industry. You got an email that you forwarded to me. I'd already talked to that group. I said, we're not going to put you on our platform. It's not the type of funding that we want to add to. We already got plenty of people to do that. And we get that every day and every week. We've got lender people out there that want to partner with us in every way possible. This is an exciting time, especially when you break it down to 200 fundings, not 200 fundings you got to get, but 200 fundings you got to get with 200 people doing one, 50 people doing four, or 1,000 people doing a couple of hundred. It can be done, and it can be, now it makes sense that you can do it without a complication of your mind of, hey, how does this comp plan work kind of thing. Reality is it does work, and you're going to see this thing take off as we do massive advertisements for the platform.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
Thank you.
Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you sharing. And basically what he says, people steal deals. We caught people stealing our deals. They'd tell us they were declined and only literally fund them in a company they owned. They tell us declined and then turn around and fund it through a different brand somewhere else. And we, over time you catch those things. And now we don't have those issues anymore, but most companies do. I got a call the other day from a lead company, and they told me, they said, we got complete packages. These are leads. We got their application, bank statements, and these are the minimum they're doing. I'm like, this is interesting. Where'd you get the leads? Oh, we got them from this partner and this partner and this partner and this partner. Wait a minute. Do the business owners know that their lead is being sold? That lender who they applied with sold their lead? Well, it's their lead. They can do what they want with it. I said, did the client know that they were being sold? Well, the client, our job is just to help the client. And so, no, they applied at such and such. Do they know you've sold it? How many people are you selling that lead to? We'll sell it to anyone who wants to buy it. Whoever's going to call the hardest, whoever's going to work the hardest is going to get the lead. Yeah, but they were already declined at that provider, right? Or they already got approved at that provider. Now you're selling the lead again. Hey, that's our business. It's called a backdoor sales. Get used to it. It's our industry. I'm like, really interesting. What's the name of your lead company? And they told me. They're all over in the leading advertisement in our industry. They're the lead source. Get used to it. It's called backdoor funding. Yeah, we don't deal with providers who do backdoor funding. We don't deal with providers who decline you and sell the lead to someone else. We don't do that. But it's out there everywhere. So unfortunately, that's what people have to deal with out there, but your clients don't have to. Your clients don't have to. Okay, we got a couple other hands up, so let's see what we got. I see, is it Gregory? Do I see that right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, Gregory, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
All right. Excuse me. You mentioned about sharing the different videos on the social media platforms. How you got two people
Yeah.
recently. But how do you get to those videos, or are they like in the email or in the back office or something?
Yeah, there's in a few places. We've got some on our Vimeo page, but we're starting to put more and more into our YouTube page as shorts, and on Instagram and on all the social networks. So if you can like and follow all the social networks,
Right.
then you'll see them post and you just share it from there.
Okay, so let's say if I share it, my information isn't attached to it.
You put your information in the comment. We don't put our information in the video. It's generic video. So
Okay.
when you share it, you can put comment, hey, check this out. If you're interested, click this link, and you type in your information.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
All right,
And then
cool.
if anyone ever goes to David Allen Capital Direct, that we don't let them proceed without entering an agent name and an agent ID. So
Yeah.
worst case, they manually type in Gregory McCray. Am I saying that right? Gregory. They would type in Gregory McCray. And even if they don't have your ID number, we look it up. Unless we've got two Gregory McCrays, and then we call you or call the client, hey, which one was it? What state you in? And we figure it out. So we always figure out who clients belong to.
Okay.
But it's easier if they click on your link, of course.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
We know most all of our sales comes from agents or affiliates of DAC. So we're going to find out who the agent of record is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory. Thanks for asking. And then I see, who else do we have with their hand up?
Sandy Lynn Hamilton.
Sandy Lynn Hamilton. Yes, Sandy Lynn.
Hi, thank you. So if you had to do like a singular kind of just, here's my statement to just present what I do as an agent. So if
Yeah.
I'm talking to a business and I just want to say, hey, this is what my business does, what is that sentence or couple of sentences?
That's a great question. And I'm gonna ask you, give me a few bullet points about what we do. I can give you the answer, but and everyone
I'm
else
brand
thinks
new
about
to
the same
this, which
thing.
is why I'm asking.
I know. And I know this is tough, but this is kind of like role playing a little bit. So
Okay.
just what are some bullet points of what we do for why do we exist? Number one, who are we for?
Businesses who run out of money at the end of the month or who are looking to expand
And can't get approved at their bank.
and can't get approved at their bank. Mhm.
Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, how do we find them the money?
Through the platform.
We have a platform. What does the platform do?
It does their search for them so they don't have to.
Yep. Does everyone in the platform approve them?
No,
Does everyone decline them?
no.
Not all. Sometimes everyone does decline them, frankly,
Oh.
but not often. There are some times we can't get someone approved, but it's rare. Okay. So, and are we a convenience for the business owner? Do we benefit the business owner in any way other than finding them funding?
Well, I know there's other things that are done, like the insurance and the
No, I
and
mean,
the
as far
credit
as,
card and those kind
yeah,
of
let me
things.
ask the question a little better. I'm sorry. As far as funding, besides getting them funding, do we do anything else in getting that funding for them?
We fix the payment and we adjust the payment if needed.
So that's a post-funding problem solving that we can do for them. And the question I'm getting at is, do we get them an offer or do we get them the best offer?
But we give them options to let them create their own solutions.
Right on. So we're not, one lender may or may not approve them and may or may not give them a good offer. It's like checking an airline flight with Delta to LA from Detroit may or may not be a good price. I don't know until I compare it with United and American Airlines and Southwest. I don't know if it's a good price. Now I got to go through that hassle unless I just will put it on Delta because my corporation's paying for it anyway. And I don't want the convenience of shopping. Well, funding
Well, it's
is
like me and United. I have a really long history with them, so it's I just
yeah,
tend
there
to
you go.
go
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So you get it. And so now that you've hit all the high points.
Mhm.
So what would you say to someone if you didn't have David answering it? And you'd take time to think about it. I want to say, and what I say is, hey, it's my job just to let your business owner, we love helping business owners. We love helping business owners to grow. And so we've got a funding platform so that if and when you ever need funding and the bank can't approve you, we've got a funding platform that'll find you the best offer from the top 20 providers. And it's convenient. One application takes about 5 minutes. And you just upload 3 months bank statements, and within one business day, you have the best offer from the top 20 providers. It's awesome. So would it be okay if I send you my link in case you ever want to use the platform to get the best funding? That's one way of saying it.
Okay.
Now,
And
that's
what
not
about
hard to
what
say it
about
all in
the
one thing.
other pieces?
What's that?
I guess it's more in the sense that the funding piece that I can present all day because I do brokering for private investors. So that part I can do all day long. It's the other pieces that I just don't know how to integrate those pieces to offer. The credit card thing and the insurance thing and that those
Okay.
things. How do I
Okay, so
how do I introduce those and then knowing that there's probably going to be questions that I can't answer because I don't know them.
Okay, so here's a couple things to think of. Knowing the highlights of our funding, you know that you could give them enough to come learn more. And by the way, if you have any questions, the Bank Breezy team will take over all your questions from there. If you got questions about terms, can you extend it, this and that, they handle everything from there. Well, the same thing with the payment processing and the healthcare. Payment processing, we find the best processor for the client who will give them the best approval offer because processors can charge you whatever they want. Okay, so that's number one. We find we've got processors who can help get you the best pricing. We've got dual pricing. So do you understand dual pricing, cash discount versus right? Okay. So as long as you're saying that, as long as you know that, then the approach for them is you got to decide whether you're leading with funding or leading with payment processing. You don't talk about it all on the first call. But at any time, you can say, oh, by the way, we've got, what are you doing for payment processing? Are you still paying fees on that? Or have you got all your fees, cut off for free now? Whatever the transition question is at the right time, what do you mean? What am I doing for payment processing? I pay a payment processing fee. Are you aware of dual pricing, cash discounting? Because we've got a division, and that whole division, all they do is help businesses take all their payment processing fees and turn them into profit just by in the way they use our payment processor. I'd love to get you a quote on that. So it's
And I just
meant,
say, see that, and that's, I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just saying that's where, that's exactly what I wanted to hear because sometimes to the couple of businesses that I've had a chance to talk to, I will say something about the funding platform and they're like, well, I don't really need any funding right now. I'm great. And then I know that I could have just followed up with that right hook and gone, yeah, but how about this? And I
yeah,
didn't, because I just didn't know how to word it because I don't know anything about that. I have no experience with that aspect of it. I was like,
yeah.
okay. And I sort of like, so it
You
ended
don't
up
need funding, Sandy Lynn.
letting
That's
go.
awesome. You don't need funding. That's awesome, Sandy Lynn. It's the best part about business ownership is you can set yourself free. And it's funny though, the reason we exist is 6 out of 10 businesses are breaking even or losing money only. So congratulations, Sandy Lynn, that you don't need funding right now. It's good to know that our platform, by the way, are you doing dual pricing yet on payment processing? Have you moved to that? It's not what I lead with because you just didn't lead with it. It's not what I lead with, but we have another division that after seeing all these bank advances, they realize how much people are paying in payment processing. So we started a whole division to help people save money on the payment processing and take their fees away. So if you already switched over to that, because if so, I could refer you to someone who could talk to you all about it. It's not what I lead with, but if you want to see what we can do about getting rid of your fees, I'd be happy to put you on the phone with someone. And then you fill out the form and you set up the call with the team. So you could transition to it at any time, but the more you talk about it in the first conversation, the tougher it is, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
But
Okay.
that's just sales professionalism after a period of time is you can't be a jack of all trades. That's why we say we launched another division. That's why I say it's not what I lead with. It's not my expertise, but our company, we're experts at it. We've partnered with the top processors to eliminate your fees. It's all about helping the business owner. And if you'd love to see how we can eliminate your fees, I can get you on the phone with our experts.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. And that was it. It's like, I had a couple of people and I mean, maybe I just, I lucked out where they were just people who are just doing well right now and don't need anything now, but I didn't want to just, and I did say, okay, well, if you need something, but then I was like, but I didn't want to just not have some other thing to hook them. And I knew that we had this other thing
Yeah.
that could potentially have hooked them right then and there, which meant that now they're hooked in. So now they absolutely, when they need funding, will think of me. You know what I mean? Like
Right
that's
on.
that's what I was trying to, but I just couldn't figure out the way to
Well, let me
word
give you one
that
more thing.
hook.
Let me give you one more thing because it may not be the best to do in that call. But I've had people who say they don't need funding, who need funding. They just don't want to tell me they need funding because that can be an embarrassing thing for people, especially if they're going through a tough time. And they got all the lights on in the business. I mean, I'm a business owner. My business is, look at all these people in here. And they don't want you to know they need funding. So they say they're good, or they certainly don't want to do that with a customer. Usually they're fine with customers, but sometimes they're not. So what I'd say to those people, when someone says they don't need it, now I say that's awesome. Most businesses are breaking even or losing money. We're helping thousands of businesses to grow. We talk growth, not needs, growth. If you ever need to expand, double locations, whatever, we can fund it without you having to take on investors or mortgage homes or whatever. But would it be okay if I send you my link for anyone else you may come across who needs funding?
Yeah.
Or if you've got a cousin or a relative or something, I just want to get the word out about my platform. Would it be okay if I send you my link that you might be able to refer to others? And they'll use that link if they need funding. They'll never tell you they need it. In fact, once they've told you they don't, they probably won't call you in a week and say, by the way, I need it, but they'll go look up David Allen Capital. So I would always ask, would it be okay if I send the link for referring to others? And now you've got their contact information. Now, when you send them that link, you can say, oh, by the way, we also are payment processing, or by the way, healthcare. So you can at that point parlay into some other products.
Perfect.
All
Thank you
right.
very, very much. I have to hop off for another call, but I appreciate this greatly.
Thank you, Sandy Lynn. Thanks for asking. All right. Who do we have next? Steve Potter. Am I seeing that right, Steve?
Are
Eyes are getting
you
better.
are saying that right? How are you today?
All right. Good. How are you?
The good old elevator pitch. what I do
Yes.
and how I do it and why. Hey, I have a technical question for you and Wade, possibly if he's still on the line. It is during the underwriting process, what stage of the game is the hard credit pulled? I know it's done
Hard
at the very
credit.
end. At the very end of, you want to clarify that
I'll
they have
answer. Hard credit is never pulled if they're doing over 15,000 a month. We don't pull hard credit. We only
Okay.
do a soft FICO. The only company we represent that does a hard credit is our micro funder, Giggle, who does the sales between 2 and 5,000, or if you have a personal bank account. Anything that goes to Giggle will have a hard credit pull upon a time of funding to verify things. They don't even do it for the credit score. They do it to verify address, authentic information. That's why they pull it. But it's only Giggle. So I tell people, well, you'll never have a hard credit pull as long as you're doing 15,000 a month or more,
Okay.
because those will never go to Giggle.
Okay, great.
I mean, they can't have a person if they have a personal account, they will for full
Right.
transparency. But most businesses you're talking to have a business bank account and won't go to Giggle.
Okay. All right, that was my question. And Sharon, I'm having trouble with Relevate. I'll send her an email separately. I'm trying to change my email, and I'm not getting a response from them, their customer service.
Okay.
So, if that's okay, I'll send an email to Sharon, and maybe she can point me to somebody, a contact there who can help me out with that.
Yeah, I'd send it to Morgan instead, because Morgan deals directly with Relevate on commissions. Morgan does all the commissions for us. So
Okay.
Morgan at davidallencapital.com.
Okay. Terrific. Thank you so
Sharon
much.
can help you, but Morgan is one step closer to Relevate.
Great. Appreciate your help. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Great questions. Norma, how you doing, Norma?
Good morning. Happy Friday, Dave and everybody. Thank you so much for this meeting today. Always very energizing. I have some good news and also some questions. So good news. I've been working with this company to get them on board for our health share, and oh my gosh, it took so long. About 13 months actually, for a company that has about 800 total W-2 wage earners and 1099, and only 13 are signed up right now for health share, but it's a start. And so I'm excited to share the good news with you guys.
Well, you broke the dam, right? You broke through the dam. The hardest part was getting the first one. Good for you.
Yeah,
Well done,
yeah.
Norma.
Yeah, thank you so much. So
Awesome.
we're in conversation right now, and I reached out to Ellen, with support for that, to see what else is required from us for us to be able to get paid on that. So that's the good news. And then I had a question, and then I wanted to add something. So the question is, congratulations on getting a lender for the real estate space and for brokers. That's very exciting. I was on the call on Wednesday, and I haven't checked the back office to see if there's any collateral in there yet. And I just wanted to know on that.
Yeah. So, by the way, it's not a new lender. It's a lender that now has said they're going to do that lending now, which is good.
Great.
So it's another advance. But there's not new collateral only because every industry that we have has the same criteria. So it's the same criteria as our regular funding. So as far as, is there a collateral that says, hey, we now do mortgages, just like we don't have a roofing collateral or a florist collateral or a restaurant collateral. So there's no marketing focus just on mortgages or real estate right now. And there's no educational collateral because it's the same requirements as our regular funding.
Okay.
So there hasn't been
Noted.
anything created yet. We may create a social post, Norma, and when that goes out, you'll see it.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
not like our target market, because the reality is, like Wade said on that call, a roofing company, if we had 100 roofing company applications come in and 100 mortgage companies, we'll probably get 80 roofing companies approved and 20 mortgage companies, right? So it's not our target market. We just want people to know that we can now support them. It's
Yes.
hard to get approved, but we can support them.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much. So
Thank you,
it
Norma.
sounds like essentially I just follow the same guidelines that are listed for the other industries. Thank you for clarifying. And then I just wanted to add, I'm also looking to refine my pitch because I'm excited to be able to share all of the services that provide. And I understand that, we do really, it's important to lead with something. And sometimes I feel like, I don't want to not share everything. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to be able to present this. And I'm working on this, and maybe you guys can give me some input, but I would like to share with the business owners that we provide business funding, and we also help business owners boost their bottom line. That's all I have to say. And by boosting their bottom line, it essentially means that, now I can open up the conversation for payment processing, and I can also open up the conversation for health share.
Amen. Yeah, and that's the good news. Everyone, we allow, obviously, not only we encourage you to lead with whatever you feel most passionate about, because if I've learned anything in my years of sales, and I'm sure anyone who's been in business development for any period of time knows, you can't succeed on something you don't believe in. For a window of time you can, but only for a window. And it's only if there's a real hungry market for the product, right? Because you could be bad at persuasion and not even believe and still get customers. You think the hot dogs are garbage or the pizza's garbage, but you're after at the end of a bar night and you happen to have a pizza stand outside the bar and they closed their oven 2 hours ago, you're selling out a pizza. But believing in something matters most. So I don't believe in leading with all of it because for me personally, but
yes,
I believe in marketing all the things we have, or we wouldn't have them in our portfolio, right? So it's which one do you want to lead with? And some people lead with our payment processing and they say, I don't want to lead with funding. I want to lead with saving the money. I want the residual. And so they're going to focus all their time. And I love what you've said about business services. We help business fund and we help increase your bottom line by getting rid of your fees or expanding your business. I mean, your profit will be helped by getting funding too. Funding is the bottom line, right?
Yes.
But so payment processing, so does health share. They all do.
Yes.
I mean, my family, my business, small employees, and we're saving in healthcare about $30,000 a year. I mean, that's waving to the bottom line. That's huge on a small company. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And I have one final keyword that maybe might be helpful to others is that the other keyword that I'm looking to use in refining this pitch is to add a comprehensive analysis. It's no cost. And obviously they don't have to take, any services, but we'd like to provide an analysis to see where we can best serve them. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much.
Norman,
have an amazing day. Thank you.
That's great stuff. Keep testing, keep doing, keep testing, keep doing. And you're refining. Like you got a new word called comprehensive that happens from having conversations. Activity creates aptivity, but it also creates aptitude. And we get better and better and better by doing it more and more. And Norma, you're a great example of that. So thank you for sharing. I see Matt DeHames put a bunch of answers. He's had hundreds of calls, thousands of calls with business owners about our funding. So he's transitioned. Read what he's got there. I don't know if my readers on, but I glanced at, I see. So he's got some great feedback there. But listen, guys, we're going to end today then. We're going into Valentine's night. If you're doing something special, enjoy your Valentine's. We got President's Day next week. We honor our presidents, including our current president and our last presidents and all that. Agree or disagree, let's honor and let's build and let's go forward to make an impact. We can make a massive impact in the world and in our family, and we can do it with integrity, all while honoring God. And I appreciate every one of you. We're doing everything we can to give you the best vehicle to win the race in. You still got to get in and drive it, right? But we'll always be checking the tire pressure and checking the fuel injection and making sure we're putting good fuel in. And we'll be doing everything we can. And sometimes we'll make a mistake, but we'll clean that engine as quick as we can. And we'll fix that flat tire as fast as we can.